Hello students, welcome to a new unit, Unit 6. We are gonna learn in this unit about fiction. You see the title? Fiction. We already know some things about fiction and we are gonna do it in English. This is the reading subject. So today what we are gonna need is this journal, okay? Probably pen, pencil, color pencils, if you have highlighter, if you have more colors, bring them, okay? So you can stop the video, find your materials, and come back. Okay, are you ready to start? Let's go. The objective for today. Today, the student is you will know how to visualize, annotate, and make inferences about the setting. Let me explain it to you. Visualize. What is visualize? Visualize es como que ves algo. You can see something. You can imagine something in your mind. You close your eyes and you imagine that in your head. That is visualize. Annotate is when you write, you take notes in your journal. That's annotate. And make inferences. An inference is when you explain something. Okay? We are gonna do it in the story, in the book, every day. Make inferences. We are gonna do it every day. So we are gonna practice enough for you to know what inference is. Don't worry about that. And the setting, you already know what is the setting. The setting is the place. Do you remember the elements of fiction? You have characters, setting, time, plot. The setting is the place. Okay, the student will understand that the descriptions in the story help the reader to visualize the setting. This word, description. A description is an explanation, little by little, of a thing. If I tell you, if I'm describing something and explaining how this thing or this person is, this is something that we are going to do in the lesson today. We're going to pay attention to the descriptions, explanations, how the setting is, to visualize the setting, the place in our mind. And finally, the student will be able to underline. Underline is put a line under the word. And quote. Quote is when you write something like a sentence from the book. You like that sentence, you write a sentence and you put quotation marks that are two little commas on the top, the beginning, the end of the sentence, that quote. You can write those details. Those are quote. This is a quote. When you copy something from a book and you write that sentence, that's a quote. So we are going to underline and copy some sentences from the book. From Vignette 1 of The House of Mango Street. The House of Mango Street is the book that we are going to read. So we have the book here, and this is the book. And we are going to underline and quote details from this book to visualize it, and then we will draw the house in the student's notebook. This is the student's notebook, and we are going to visualize, imagine the house that is describing in chapter 1, and then we are going to draw the house here. Okay, so two things. First, we are going to read the story. Second, we are going to draw the setting. So we visualize the setting, then we draw the setting. Okay, are you ready? Good. So let's review this, the elements of fiction, because this book is about fiction. Fiction is a genre. We have studied different genres like informative book, poetry, and now we are doing fiction. We are going to enjoy this unit. Here is the book. Let's see what's inside. This is the cover of the book. The cover is the front cover and the back cover, okay? We have front cover and back cover. This is the front cover. Okay, and this is the table of content. We can find the different chapters of the book here in the content, the table of contents. Something interesting that we have in this book is that those chapters are called vignettes. Do you see this word, vignettes, here? A vignette is like, I'm gonna give you an example. Do you like comics? Yes, you do, I know. In a comic, we have different like windows, right? Boxes with different parts of a story. In each box, we have a different part of the story. The setting may change from one box to the next one. The vignettes are similar to those boxes or windows in a comic. In each vignette, we have a little part of a whole story. So we can call them chapters or vignettes. Those are different parts of the book. Let's start with the vignette number 1, The House on Mango Street.
Vignette 1, The House on Mango Street. We didn't always live on Mango Street. Before that, we lived on Loomis on the 3rd floor. And before that, we lived on Keeler. Before Keeler, it was Paulina. And before that, I can't remember. But what I remember most is moving a lot. Each time it seemed there'd be one more of us. By the time we got to Mango Street, we were 6. Mama, Papa, Carlos, Kiki, my sister Nenny, and me. The house on Mango Street is ours, and we don't have to pay rent to anybody, or share the yard with the people downstairs, or be careful not to make too much noise. And there isn't a landlord banging on the ceiling with a broom. But even so, it's not the house we'd thought we'd get. We had to leave the flat on Loomis quick. The water pipes broke, and the landlord wouldn't fix them because the house was too old. We had to leave fast. We were using the washroom next door and carrying water over in empty milk gallons. That's why Mama and Papa looked for a house, and that's why we moved into the house on Mango Street, far away, on the other side of town. They always told us that one day we would move into a house, a real house, that would be ours for always, so we wouldn't have to move each year. And our house would have running water and pipes that worked. And inside, it would have real stairs, not hallway stairs, but stairs inside, like the houses on TV. And we'd have a basement and at least 3 washrooms, so when we took a bath, we wouldn't have to tell everybody. Our house would be white with trees around it, a great big yard, and grass growing without a fence. This was the house Papa talked about when he held a lottery ticket, and this was the house Mama dreamed up in the stories she told us before we went to bed. But the house on Mango Street is not the way they told it at all. It's small and red, with tight steps in front, and windows so small you'd think they were holding their breath. Bricks are crumbling in places, and the front door is so swollen you have to push hard to get in. There is no front yard, only 4 little elms the city planted by the curb. Out back is a small garage for the car we don't own yet, and a small yard that looks smaller between the 2 buildings on either side. There are stairs in our house, but they're ordinary hallway stairs, and the house has only 1 washroom. Everybody has to share a bedroom. Mama and Papa, Carlos and Kiki, me and Nenny. Once, when we were living on Loomis, a nun from my school passed by and saw me playing out front. The laundromat downstairs had been boarded up because it had been robbed 2 days before, and the owner had painted on the wood, "Yes, we're open," so as not to lose business. "Where do you live?" she asked. "There," I said, pointing up to the 3rd floor. "You live there?" There. I had to look to where she pointed. The 3rd floor, the paint peeling, wooden bars Papa had nailed on the windows so we wouldn't fall out. "You live there?" The way she said it made me feel like nothing. There. I lived there. I nodded. I knew then I had to have a house, a real house, one I could point to. But this isn't it. The house on Mango Street isn't it. For the time being, Mama says. Temporary, says Papa. But I know how those things go.
Okay, so here we have the story. I can see different parts and a lot of description, but not all the description is about the same house. We have a lot of houses in this chapter, in this vignette. We have a list of houses that the protagonist, the main character, have lived in the past. Those houses are in the first paragraph. Then we can visualize another house. That's the flat on Loomis. That's the house that they were living in before the Mango Street house. So we have the description here. A flat is like a house with different stages. So you live in one state, another family lives in another state. So each flat is a different state. Then we have the dream house, the house that they dream about. They want to live in that house. That is an imaginary house. It doesn't exist. This is the house they would like to have. But instead of having this dream house, they have the house on Mango Street. And here in this paragraph is when the author starts describing the house on Mango Street. What we are going to do now is use the pencil to underline some important words that describe the house on Mango Street. Take your pencil, take your book, go to page number 4. To the second paragraph. Are you ready? Good. What are some words that help us to describe the house on Mango Street and help us to understand or imagine better how this house looks like? Okay, so I'm gonna read little by little. But the house on Mango Street is not the way they told it at all. It is small. Small. Can I imagine a small house? Yes, I can. Small. I'm gonna underline small. And red. Red is a describing word. It's an adjective. I'm gonna underline red. With tight steps in front. Tight steps. Tight is small, tiny steps in the front. Tight steps in front. I'm gonna underline tight steps in front. Okay. And windows so small, you will think they were holding their breath. When you hold your breath, it's like you don't have a space, right? So the windows were so small, you will think they were holding their breath. Windows so small. I'm gonna underline windows so small. Okay, you can underline that in your journal. Okay. Bricks are crumbling in places. Bricks son los ladrillos. Crumbling, like they are broken or falling down. Bricks are crumbling. I'm gonna underline that part. And the front door is so swollen you have to push hard to get in. So the front door is swollen. It's hard to open the door. Have you tried to open a door and you can't because it is very hard to open it? That's what swollen means. It's hard to open. You can underline the front door is so swollen. I'm only underlining the most important words. There is no front yard. No front yard. So I'm gonna underline no front yard. Only 4 little elms, the tiny planted by the curve. So I'm gonna underline 4 little elms, the city planted by the curve. Because you know the curve is when you turn to the right or to the left. That's the curve when you turn. So I'm gonna underline little elms, the city planted by the curve. Out back is a small garage for the car we don't own yet. And it's okay. Out back is a small garage. I'm gonna underline that. And a small yard that looks smaller between the 2 buildings on either side. So there is a big building here, a big building here, and this is the little house, the house on Mango Street. Okay, so we are gonna underline small yard that looks smaller between the 2 buildings on either side. There are stairs in our house. Stairs. I'm gonna underline stairs. But they are ordinary hallway stairs. I'm gonna underline ordinary hallway stairs. And the house has only 1 washroom. I'm gonna underline only 1 washroom. What is a washroom? Can you imagine? Okay, use your imagination. Use what you already know. Was, when you wash your hands, was, okay. Room, like the bedroom, the living room. So it's a room where you can wash your hands or you can wash yourself. You can wash something, okay? Only 1 washroom. Everybody has to share a bedroom. So everybody has to share a bedroom. I'm gonna underline that. Question. Inference question. How many bedrooms do you think there are in this house, in the house on Mango Street? Look here. Everybody has to share a bedroom. Mama and Papa, Carlos and Kiki, me and Nenny. How many bedrooms do you think there are? They are sharing bedrooms. Do you think there are everybody, the 6 people living, sleeping in the same room, or there are 2 rooms or 3 rooms? How many bedrooms? Well, very important here, the commas. Mama and Papa, 1 room. Carlos and Kiki, 2nd room. Me and Nenny, the third room. So there are 3 rooms. I'm gonna write a number 3 here. After bedroom, I'm gonna write the number 3 in my journal. So I remember that there are 3 bedrooms. Okay, now I have the important details. Here in your journal, I want you to go to page number 47. Page number 47. Okay, you're gonna see 1.1, page number 47. What are we gonna do here? What we are gonna do here in page number 47, I'm gonna write here page 47, is to write quotes about the house on Mango Street. Remember a quote? So in this page, you are gonna write the quotes. I'm gonna do it here so you can copy from the screen, from the video, okay? So using what you have underlined in your journal, like I have underlined a lot of things, details about the description of the setting, I'm gonna use quotation marks and copy from the book literally what it says, only the details. It is small, it is red. Do you see how I use the quotation marks? Tide steps in front. Windows so small. Bricks are crumbling. You can write that in your journal. In this journal, I mean. Front door is so swollen. No front yard. Little elms, the city planters. Article. Out back is a small garage. Small jar that looks smaller between the 2 buildings on either side. Do you notice how I'm using the quotation marks? You have to use the quotation marks. 2 little commas on the beginning and 2 little commas on the end, okay? I'm almost done. Ordinary hallway stairs. Only one washroom. Everybody has to share a bedroom. And here, in parentheses, I'm gonna write 3 bedrooms. This is my inference, so I'm gonna write that in parentheses and not with the quotation marks because the book doesn't say 3 bedrooms. I can understand that there are 3 bedrooms, but the way it's telling that there are 7 bedrooms, Mama and Papa, Carlos and Kiki, me and Nene, okay? This is the activity for the page 47. If you need to complete the activity, you can stop the video, finish copying this in your journal, and then continue. Okay, now that you are done copying all this list, I want you to close your eyes and visualize in your mind, because I'm going to read the list. Everything that is in here, I'm going to read that. You have to close your eyes. Are you closing your eyes? Use your brain, your mind. Imagine with your eyes inside your brain, okay, here in your mind. Imagine, visualize all those characteristics, descriptions, details of the setting. And then, after you visualize that, you are gonna draw the house of Mango Street on page 49. Just close your eyes. I'm gonna read the list. Small, red, tight steps in front, windows so small, bricks are crumbling, front door is so swollen, no front yard, little elms, the city planted by the car, out back is a small garage, small yard that looks smaller between the 2 buildings on either side, ordinary hallway stairs inside the house, only 1 washroom, everybody has to share a bedroom. Can you visualize that house on Mango Street? Yes? Awesome. So now that you have visualized the house, if you don't remember, extend the page. This is just the following page. So you write all those characteristics here, the quotation, the quotes. Here, quotes because they are with quotation marks. And then here, okay, this is the activity, but you have to do it with a partner, but I'm your partner. I'm reading the list to you so you can visualize it, and now you just have to draw the house on Mango Street. That is the activity for today. So you draw the house here in your journal. If you don't have it, use a paper, okay? And take a picture and send it to the teacher, to your teacher. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you have enjoyed this first vignette about the house on Mango Street. And see you tomorrow. Bye bye.